Right. Welcome, everyone. This is Dr. Mike Reid from Prosperity 10X and my good friend.
What's going on, guys? Matthew Loop here from Profit 365. Super happy that decided to join us today. It's going to be fun, and we've got a lot of great content to share.
And as we get started, guys, we have a lot of people who are jumping on. Make sure that you mute your microphone just so we don't have any background noise. And for those of you who are joining in, we have a small gift for you. This is a 7-figure empire social media digital marketing report. These are secrets that Matt and I have shared over the years. So you want to scan that, download your name, email, and basically be able to download this report immediately, get immediate access. So for those of you who are just jumping on right now, you want to capture this. This is going to be a synopsis of what we have here, plus a little extra. And Matt and I are going to just roll out for the next 30, 40 minutes on some of the structures, techniques, strategies, hacks that we've used over the years to help build a 7-figure company. Yeah. So, hey, guys, make sure you put yourself on mute for me, just so that we don't have any background noise. I'll also be doing it from this end here. All right. Fantastic. All right. So, hey, Matt, let's just talk about the relevancy, why people want to be in the social media digital marketing world, especially as we move into 2023. I think this is sort of a tipping point where we're seeing a lot of businesses, a lot of healthcare practitioners now going into full-fledged, all-out online in the internet. So let's just take your perspective, because we've known each other 10, 15 years or so, and we've been teaching this for about 9 together. Where do you see the future going with this?
Well, I think that it's important to realize that even though, and this is where I talk to a lot of docs, and of course some are using it fantastic and others are using it haphazardly. And many honestly they don't really want to be on social media. And I think we have to address this because there's a right way to use social media, and there's also a way to let it use you. So a lot of what we teach is how to use it effectively to get in, get out, be very efficient. So you're able to use it in such a way that it grows the practice and it's not necessarily frustrating. So I just wanted to kind of get that out of the way, because I hear that a lot, and it really doesn't change the fact that this is how the world communicates now. It's not what I say. It's not what Mike says. People expect you to have a very large presence on social media, online. Listen, if you have a ton of reviews, hey, that's fantastic. But people do, after they look at your reviews, they go and search Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. And if you're hardly there, you're just trusted a lot less, because that's what every reputable business does in the world that we live in. So we need to understand how people think and to shape that perception and not, we always should stack the deck in our favor, put it that way. So if you currently don't have a large presence online, even if you have a strong referral-based practice, people are trusting you less and less. And that's just not, and that's never a good position to be in. So number one, you have to be there, because this is how the world evolved and it's just shifted, right?
And I agree. So it's not a matter of, should I? It's an absolute must in today's world. I think you'd agree with me. So that being said, Matt, we've been teaching this, using this for our own businesses, and we've seen, 6, 7 figures come in, just outrageous growth that we've seen over the years. Let's talk about maybe the most important platform that you'd say that every professional should be on.
Yeah, for I think the docs that are joining us right now. Now, if you have a different business, you can certainly type that in the chat. And by the way, we will answer questions in the chat. So if you have a burning question, whether you're tripped up on a strategy tactic or you just want more information on our Caribbean mastermind in Mexico, just leave it in the chat. But so it's going to really, I could tell you here are the top networks, obviously, you need to be on. Now, for most of you, Facebook is still highly relevant because it does have a larger geriatric population, and many that use chiropractic services as an example, they're 40 plus with a lot of issues going on. So it's still a very, very highly effective medium to be there. But it's not just about being on Facebook. It's about understanding how the platform works in every single nook and cranny that you can penetrate to be everywhere. And if you're everywhere, and you deliver value and be an asset to your people, well, naturally, the byproduct is a bigger practice. It always happens. But I will say that, for example, on Facebook, it's one thing to post on your profile, and you should absolutely be doing that every single day, and or empowering a team member to do that for you daily, keeping things fresh. These don't have to necessarily be long, drawn out stories. Some of them can be, obviously, because that's how you connect extremely well with your base. But we have to have some regular activity. And to throw this out there, by the way, let's say you have a third-party agency that you're using just to post on your fan page. That's totally fine. But the problem is that you are likely sacrificing a lot of your organic distribution, since Facebook still somewhat has a thing with third-party services that post directly through Facebook. And the only way that you would know that is if you actually did your own test and you posted it natively to the platform versus with a third-party platform, whether it's Hootsuite or some of these other ones. So that's important because we want to get as much organic reach as possible. Another thing you have to realize is that there are a tremendous amount of individuals that go on social networks in general. They don't really go to the news feed anymore because they don't care about all the political whining and nonsense that you see a lot of times. So they're going to the stories. And from what I've seen, many of you are not capitalizing. You're not uploading stories every day. And I can tell you, for me personally, if I didn't do that, I'd be losing thousands of views every single day to content that I have. So it can be a very large opportunity to get more exposure. And then lastly, on top of everything else, is the paid element of Facebook advertising, where within Facebook advertising, you have a dozen plus different methods and strategies that you can utilize. If one thing is not working out, if you've tried an agency and for whatever reason it's not working out well, you need to try something else or a different strategy or story form marketing. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. So I like to really get in and be in all of those different channels. And that's not just for Facebook, but I use that as an example since most of you should absolutely have a strong presence there in 2023.
I agree, Matt. And one of the things that we really stress is consistency and direct response. So let's just talk about how, you and I coming from the school of Dan Kennedy, it's all about direct response, the ethical bribe and things like that. And consistency. So some doctors, they put something out, and if they don't see a result right away, they're gonna jump ship. And it's sort of like the analogy of digging for gold. That nugget's right there, and he's just a centimeter away, and he backs out. So we always talk about at least 3 months. We talk about direct response, and we talk about capitalizing on a quick follow-up. So I want you to sort of touch base on that for me.
Yeah, and you just reminded me of a very important point as well. Right now, with what we're seeing in this recession, let's call it what it is. So many people, not just doctors, entrepreneurs, they're backing off on their advertising, ad spend. And I said this way back in the early Corona days, like, this is not the time to back off in your ad spend. If something's not working, you need to figure out how to make it more effective. And also, aside from a direct response component, have the branding goodwill element. Because if you're there in times of need for people, they're going to remember you. And it would be like Coke and Pepsi. Now, obviously, those are shitty drinks. But if, let's say, Coke decided, all right, it's a recession, we're not going to advertise anymore for the next 2-3 years or however long it is. You know how much more market share Pepsi would gain because they're on not just social media, they're in conventional media as well. So don't let this opportunity slip by you from just that angle alone, where you've got so much more inventory in ads online, yet so very few other doctors and professionals that are using Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or all of these other channels. So I just wanted to really make that point home because it's a big gap in the market that we're seeing. In terms of the direct response, yeah, for sure. I mean, we should have, whether it's condition specific content going out in ads, whether they're workshops that you're driving people to and you're closing them there, webinars, or a landing page with, let's say, an ethical bribe or a free video training series. That's great. And then we should also have on top of that the branding component, to where we're not really looking for a short-term response, but we're keeping ourselves out there in the public eye, and eventually we'll become a household name in our market. So
I agree. Right now we advertise on Facebook and Instagram. We're advertising on YouTube. We're advertising on TikTok, email based. And this time of year, Matt, it can be a little challenging because we see a competition with the big box stores, right? There's certain times of year, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. but we still play through that game because we are playing for the long game when it comes to brand and authority building as well. And for those, there's a lot of doctors who are just joining us. Make sure you put yourself on mute. And for those of you who just joined us, we have a gift for you. This is our 7-Figure Empire Social Media and Digital Marketing Secrets for 2023. It's a synopsis plus more. You want to hit that scan right now with your phone, download this report. And once we have your information, we'll also send you a recording of this this presentation so you can listen to it again. I'll keep popping this up from time to time, and taking it from there. You know, Matt, you talked about Facebook, and that's one of the most powerful platforms that we're using. We use direct response video. I love the video. We use a bridge script that we put on Facebook with some ad copy, all direct response. We use the ethical bribe, and that drives a lot of traffic into our funnel system. So you can use it just organically. You can do the paid ads, and you can also attach this to a funnel. And we find that's extremely effective, especially to drive new patients into my wife's practice. So that's one element where we use this. We're also finding too, Matt, there's this shift right now where a lot of medical doctors, a lot of functional nutritionists, a lot of NPs are getting away from not only their current brick and mortar, or they have their brick and mortar, but they want to make a passive income with a virtual sort of business where they can have passive income that's making money at night. You know, they wake up in the morning, they look at that cart, and it's like cha-ching, cha-ching, the money's coming in. So there's a shift as people are now searching online. I can't remember the last time I really went to a box store and bought anything. I go to Amazon, or I can go to any sort of online store. Let's touch base on that a bit, because that's so relevant right now to have that sort of presence online in a virtual sort of business.
Yeah, 100%. And if you truly want to recession-proof your practice, your business, you need to have a virtual component. And you know, in the last several years, the population has definitely been more apt to buying stuff online. So it just makes sense. If you have one source of income, I've said this so many times in the past, but you're on borrowed time. It's extremely dangerous. And you know, we know from let's say chiropractic standpoint, you adjust people for 20, 30 years, your shoulders, your hips start giving out a little bit. I mean, you know, I've seen a lot of injuries, unfortunately, where docs are coming to me after the fact. And it's just, you need to prepare for, at worst case scenario, an injury. But realistically, patients want to touch and communicate with you online. And also it's very easy to upsell them in other products, programs, or services that you might offer. You know, I know that at our Caribbean Adventure Mastermind in Mexico in Playa Mujeres, we're gonna really dive deep into that, and you know, you guys will be with us. But it's something where I mean, I can only say I was fortunate way back in 2005, 2006, where by accident I created an online course, and that thing serviced the profession, social media elite, and it took off and eventually surpassed my primary source of income. So I knew about the power of the internet way back in the day, and that's only grown and grown and expanded. So, but it allows you, if you want, you can treat people 40 hours a week if you choose, or maybe you just want to take care of patients 10 hours a week because you still find gratification. You love helping people. That's totally your call, but at least you have options when you integrate some type of virtual model. So, you know, that's just my thoughts.
I've got a question here about the controversy with TikTok, Matt, that's coming to a head with their involvement in the CCP. And for those of you who just joined us, we have a lot of doctors jumping on right now. One, if you have a question, just put it in the chat. And two, Matt and I are sharing a 7-Figure social media empire and digital marketing secrets report. It's about 70 pages. It gives you a synopsis of what we're talking about. We're also going to send you a recording of this as well, so you can actually jump on board and grab this to scan it. You'll be able to gain instant access to the social media digital marketing report, and then get an idea of how you can actually build your practice, and we'll get a recording of this.
Is that link in the chat, Mike, or the QR code?
That I keep popping it up here, so
okay, just throw it in the chat.
Yeah,
make sure it's for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was a great question, Bruce. And I get this so much. And I understand where it comes from. So the question was, what do you think about TikTok and the ties to the CCP, spyware, all these other things? And usually how I'll start this is I'll say, okay, well, if you're extremely concerned about any app that's going to give away your data, your privacy, hack you, look at other apps online, give your data to the NSA, CIA, big corporations, or whatever, you should be extremely concerned, or you should have been extremely concerned about Facebook, because they have abused their users' data like you've never seen. And what I've seen and witnessed, because I'm intimately involved in this world, is they are a much bigger threat still than TikTok ever will be. Now, I know it's really trendy, and I'm not going to get political on this, but it's very trendy right now to want to hate on China, to want to hate on other countries for whatever reason. You know, I love people. That's just my natural tendency. Sometimes the leaders are knuckleheads of countries. I think we can all agree with that. But in a worst case scenario, what would they actually do with my personal information? Is somebody going to come over here? Or are they going to, like, you know, we're a big 2A house, right? I just don't see where the apprehension is. But I do see a lot of propaganda in the media, unfortunately. And to top on that, I will say personally, because I've worked with a lot of clients over the years with TikTok specifically, helping them make millions and millions of dollars, and we've been using it well. My personal thought is it looks like this app is going to be banned. I don't know if it's in 6 months. I don't know if it's in 3 months. That's my personal feeling about TikTok. Whether you agree with it or not, there is still an opportunity to make a lot of money with the app, to build a very large following, and you are crazy if you don't utilize it for your brand or business and then start to migrate those followers off to whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And if you want more insight from me on this, certainly follow me on Twitter, because I do post a lot more than I do on Facebook. I'm actually at a 30-day ban on Facebook right now, but we'll talk about that later. But there is a window of opportunity on TikTok, on Reels. The only reason social platforms in general, like YouTube and Instagram, the only reason Instagram has Reels or YouTube has Shorts is because of TikTok. They were getting destroyed in the market share. So they're like, oh shit, we need to like create something and actually give users free reach. And that's why TikTok has gone viral, because it's so much free reach. I just posted a video yesterday. It's only got like 6,000 video views, but they're legit views with, you know, dozens of comments. I mean, there's things that you just don't get on Facebook and Instagram, and you haven't had that for a long time. So there's a lot of reasons why that platform is in the media, but don't let it scare you from utilizing tools and technology that can make your life better, that can make you a lot of money. And ultimately, you know, it's your decision, but I would take it with a grain of salt, quite honestly.
And you know, one of the things that we stress too, Matt, in direct response marketing is return on investment. So the ad costs right now for TikTok are very, very low. Yeah, you can even do it for free, right? Comparatively to Facebook. And even though that we measure and monitor our Facebook ad costs and everything we do, it still has a high return on investment. TikTok through the roof. So I agree. Multiple platforms. You know, I've talked about having the Parthenon effect, or the multiple pillar effect in your marketing, stopping, measuring, monitoring as you go. And you never know, TikTok could be gone tomorrow, but then you've got True Social. You've got other platforms that might sort of come up and be more prominent, be that next marketing tool. So I totally agree with you, is you want to be on there regardless. And I don't think they're going to tap into your financial records or anything like that. That was a question we had. I can't see that happening. So
I would go, and the way that banks are these days anyway, if something, let's say something did happen with that, I'm thinking in my mind, I like, whenever there's an issue, I call the bank, the charge is usually reversed immediately. It's one of those things to where I just, again, based on logic, based on what I've seen in the marketplace, all I'm saying is you got to get while the getting's good, period. And people are making millions and millions of dollars with TikTok. Why can't it be you?
Yeah, why not? And Bruce has a question here. What do you think? What do you know about the age demographics on TikTok right now?
Yeah, so the age demographics are, it's still mostly, well, there's a lot of moms on TikTok. So if I posted a slide a few months ago, actually, over 30, it's over 35, it might be over 38% of the user base is over the age of 30. That's a pretty substantial amount, and it's growing more rapid. So if you've ever been on the app, you'll know in short order why it's actually so addicting. Now, there's something you also have to learn in touching on TikTok as well, because of course, they're going to, one part of the argument, it's, well, China's using it to dumb Americans down. The thing about social media in general, like all the platforms since their inception, their goal is to keep you on the network. Like if you were on my TikTok app right now, the videos you're going to see are about wealth creation, business building, like communication. Like this thing is the app is amazing when you give it good information. Now, if you're watching stupid cat videos all day long, it's going to feed you low IQ information, right? So because they want you to stay on the network. It's good for them if you stay on. And if I was seeing cat videos all day long on TikTok and I couldn't get to what I needed, I wouldn't be on there at all. So they're not stupid. So you have to learn how to use the platform. So the demographics, though, I mean, absolutely. From a Cairo standpoint, I could tell you, share studies like one of my clients out of Michigan. She's been advertising on TikTok since January, and since January, she's gotten over 100 new patients in her office just from TikTok, which is pretty exceptional. And her cost per they call it the CPA, cost per action, cost per lead on there has consistently been under $18 per lead, which is really good. And
That's
she's
great.
finding, and she's finding that the people are higher quality than Facebook. That's not always the case, but what you have to understand about it is when people scroll through their news feed on Facebook, I could literally go and scroll past 17 posts in a matter of like a second, because that's how the news feed is. But on TikTok, I actually have to go, and when I scroll, I got to go one video by one video, and I'm at least seeing the video for 3 to 5 seconds. So the quality of the impression is much higher. And if you have a good opener on your video, if you grab attention, create a pattern interrupt, you're going to get your foot in the door. Most people will give you a minute of their time. They know that it's a short form platform. 15 seconds to a minute is what most videos are, even though you can upload longer videos. So you got to take advantage of the psychology and realize why it's so addicting to people. And like I said, use it to your advantage while it's still available.
And that's a relevant point, Matt. You talked about the attention span of people right now. And our 15-second on Facebook actually outweighs the 2-minute, right? And I keep taking that sort of sales copy and condensing it. And we're looking at the algorithms, and we're seeing that our CPAS is highest right now with the 15 seconds. So that's another reason I think why TikTok's a winner, because of the short videos. Even though you can do as much as a 3-minute, you got that 15 seconds, seems to be killing it. And I think that's critical. You mentioned is that sort of impact that you have in the first 5 seconds, because people, they don't have that much of an attention span anymore. So you've got to be able to capture their attention right off the bat.
Yeah, Mike. So have you ever been on Facebook, for example, and you I know it's happened to me, but I'll be scrolling and I'll see a video. I'll actually want to watch a video, but then I'll look and it's like 2.5 minutes in length.
Yeah.
2.5 minutes,
which I can't even,
I can't even believe I'm saying that. Right. But that's how I think. And I know if that's how I think, and I love consuming high quality information, but I know that the average consumer is in a very similar position. So
yeah, I get you. Docs, if you have a question, make sure you just drop it in the chat. For those of you who just joined us, we have a lot of doctors still jumping on, that QR code is going to gift you our 7-Figure Empire Social Media Digital Marketing Report. And we're going to talk a little bit at the end here about how you can actually take advantage and get to know us in a special event that we're having very, very shortly in the next few months down the Caribbean. We'd love to have you all join us. Matt, in the meantime, let's divert to YouTube, because YouTube still has a lower cost per lead right now than Facebook. The amount of people who are going on YouTube is growing very substantially every year. We're moving into the YouTube world as well, and we found that the sweet spot, I did some research on this, was kind of interesting. The sweet spot's about 8 minutes on YouTube. Even though there are short videos, but people are willing to learn more, almost like YouTube is a how-to sort of platform to go to. But you can actually use YouTube for Business out at a lower cost per lead than Facebook, and still drive traffic either right to your practice, to your businesses, to your funnel, wherever you want to go. So maybe you can comment on that for a bit.
Yeah, 100%. So YouTube is the second largest search engine online. Most would rather watch a video than read a 2,000-word blog post. I think that's how we're typically wired. So yeah, you're right. People go there for instructional content. And yes, you do have the YouTube Shorts side of things, where there are shorter videos where you can get very condensed, digestible nuggets. But for longer form content, absolutely. And you should, when you're creating content in your own office, for example, every week, hopefully you have a content schedule. If you don't, you're already behind the 8 ball, because there are docs that we work with that are just crushing it. One of the reasons is because they're consistent. And within your content schedule, you might decide, hey, we're gonna create 3 longer videos every week, and then we're gonna create 3 videos that are under 30 seconds in length. It's not really a huge time investment, especially if you have an extra, 40 minutes one day, and you can batch shoot the content. So you got to get very clear and be consistent, have your own blocks out there. But YouTube, I mean, it's not going anywhere. There's no other even close number 2. Now,
Right.
YouTube, of course, certain content they will censor. So if you have sensitive stuff, you're talking about controversial subjects, you might put that on a Rumble, BitChute, or what have you. But if you're trying to just gain search engine rankings, for example, or if you're going to utilize their advertising platform, which is also search traffic, then and it's a lot less competition than Facebook, where you're going to be and have a heavy presence on this channel. There's so many ways that you can access and get to your core target audience.
And one of the objections I get, Matt, from doctors is I don't have time. And we talk about repurposing. So docs can go on YouTube and they can actually create a video and throw it on YouTube. But from that video, you can create your reels and your stories. You can post that on TikTok and Facebook. You can take little excerpts and use that for videos in your promotion. You can actually get transcriptions, put it onto your website, into your email. So there's the ability to take literally half an hour a week and repurpose all of this on all different platforms. And I love what you said: structure, having it organized, on a weekly basis, on a monthly, on a quarterly basis, and consistency. And that's where you're going to see, because I found that it takes about 3 months before you really start to see that traffic drive in. But the ability to do a video once a week, set a time, and then repurpose all that on different platforms.
Yeah, for sure. And then you can combine some of that video content and put it on steroids with ads. This is where, for the longest time, I thought branding was garbage for the longest time. Just because I came, like you, from the school of Dan Kennedy, and we really focus on the direct response. We're small businesses, of course we need sales now. But there is a point in time where, even if your advertising is not great, but if you commit to some type of regular budget every month, just showing video content to people, you will hit a tipping point in the marketplace. And for most of you, your audiences that you're targeting, let's say on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, with paid ads, they're probably going to be, 75,000 to 200,000 roughly in there. That's not a large audience.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, if you're consistent, $500 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever that is, some consistency, you will become famous in the marketplace. And once that happens, like, I have clients all the time that approach me. Like, one I just spoke with the other day, coaching client. He's like, "You're not going to believe this." And of course I would. But he's like, "I was in a Vietnamese restaurant. We ordered the food. The server comes over and she's like, 'Hey doc, I know you. I've seen your videos on, helping pregnant moms and yada, yada, yada.'" And they had a great conversation, and he eventually invited her in the office, right? She became a new patient. Pretty darn cool, because he established a reputation and he's been consistent. So on top of that direct response where he was attracting the patients immediately, when the branding starts to kick in and you become that Dr. Oz of the marketplace, and you have some degree of notoriety and fame, it's a very interesting dynamic. People look at you differently. They feel they already know you. So there's really not hard selling. And I speak from a lot of personal experience on this. It makes everything so much easier, and you're able to be more effective than have your business grow because of it.
I agree. So we have another couple of questions coming in, but I just want to divert a bit, because Matt and I could talk, guys, on these subjects for the next couple of days, because we've been teaching it to doctors. But what happened is, years ago, just to give you some background stories. I've been coaching doctors for about 22 years, and I Googled one day Facebook guru, and that was Matt. He popped up. We chatted on the phone, became immediate friends, because we came from the same background of business with marketing. He started speaking at my seminars, and he said to me one day, "Wouldn't it be kind of cool, Mike, for us to do a Caribbean adventure mastermind?" So just to divert, guys, you can actually come down and spend 3 to 4 days with us. If you plan on taking a vacation in 2023, this is the Ultimate Caribbean Adventure Mastermind. And this is an event that we hold every year. This is number 9. And this is by far the best one we're going to be throwing, because It's not just a mastermind where we teach for 5 hours every morning, but just give you a breakdown of this. We have early bird tickets on sale until December 31st. We've rented a 110-foot Diamond Wave Crew. That stands for Wealth, Adventure, and Voyage. And it's a yacht cruise called the Illusions. So you can actually get a ticket and cruise with us for 4 hours around East Harris. The standard tickets, guys, you can get and just spend the Friday, Saturday, Sunday with us in the morning. We have a VIP training. If you're sort of versed in online marketing, social media, you'll want to come to this one. I'll be teaching on webinars and on YouTube. Matt, I know you're going to be teaching a very advanced element for that session as well. And we also have a beach barbecue, and that's after the boat cruise, because usually people get off the boat and they just kind of walk over to the beach barbecue. And we have an after dark presidential suite party. So there's a lot going on for this, guys. You can actually go to ucam.fun. You'll see that right there at the top. And when you download this report, you'll get more information as well on that event. So you'll definitely want to at least look into it.
Linda just dropped that in the chat as well. And
yeah.
am I able to share my screen too, Mike, or no?
Yeah, so I can have you share your screen. So
post disabled. Yeah. Tell me when you do that.
I want to share. Yeah, absolutely. So I'll share it with you. So you go ahead. You go ahead, Matt, and you can share now.
I wanted to show them this real quick, and that picture really didn't show much of the water, but it's a beautiful property. You know, white sand, blue ocean, typical of Mexico in general. So if you love being with high level players, 7-8 figure earners, in a beautiful location, this is a spot you want to be in. And you know, Mike and I have talked about this a lot. I can only tell you what I'm doing and what I've done the last 3 years and where I feel the world is moving. And I'm not too optimistic, I'll be honest with you, about the direction things are going for a lot of people. I think the writing is on the wall. I think that if you're not in a close circle right now and regularly hanging out with people that are doing exceptional in their life, business, and from many different angles, I think you're screwed. That's just my personal opinion. So I'm involved in 3 separate masterminds myself to be in close-knit rooms, not on Zoom, even though there is Zoom periodically, like getting face-to-face, really seeing what people are doing, not just in their business. Mm-hmm. How are they planning their exit strategies? How are they growing their wealth exponentially? So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff at our event, of course, social media profit strategies, but also exponentially increasing what you're doing to accumulate wealth and how the world's wealthiest people are doing that in these times of chaos and crisis. So I can't really stress that enough, to where, yeah, we're going to have great content there, but you're literally one connection away from an extra 7 and 8 figures, or
I agree.
living your best life.
I agree, because for the healthcare professionals on this call, you guys are living a great life, but to have wealth at the back end, the masterminds humble you. You walk out of there realizing, oh my gosh, there's so much more to learn. And you're going to walk away with 3 or 4 or 5 nuggets that are literally going to transform your business. Just to give you an example, Matt, I brought my wife. She's a chiropractor. I brought Dr. Shireen down to a ClickFunnels event to listen to Lady Boss. And this is a personal trainer that got involved online, and within about 5 years, she grew a 75 million per year business. Mm-hmm. And my wife is an amazing and magnetic personality. She's got a wealth of knowledge. We're actually launched drshireen.com, and that has a potential of easily being an 8-figure business in order to even have an exit strategy from a physical practice, in order to have that wealth that we all dream of. Because I think the biggest regret you'll have ever in life is that you could have, you should have, and you didn't. And you have an opportunity really to spend 3-4 days with you and me. And it's not just classroom, right, Matt? It happens outside the classroom. It happens with the people that you're meeting. And just to give you guys a heads up, it is limited to the first 100 registrants due to room allotment. So if you have an inkling of going down and having a vacation, you can come early, you can stay later. This is an amazing resort. There's a lot happening at this resort with Matt and myself and all the other attendees. We have a guest speaker as well who's going to be attending. And of course, we have this amazing yacht cruise.
There are lots of surprises. You know, some like last year, for example, literally almost the last minute, one of our attendees who will be there this year, a very successful guy, high 7-figure practice. He was really good friends with Phil Heath, 6-time Mr. Olympic bodybuilder. So he came down and hung out, spoke to us as well. So we have some we got some really cool connections and high performance people that are in the room, and you just never know who you're sitting next to. And of course, yeah, you can come down there and pick our brains, even though like that's usually picking brains is off for me. Like that never happens unless you pay a lot of money. But these events, like I know that you're like me because you'd have to be somewhat like us to be in that environment with high performance people and wanting to realize your best life. So I have a lot of respect for our attendees that come down, and it's like a family that we built over the years.
And we're not just limited to YouTube and Facebook and TikTok, guys. We're also talking about podcasting, email marketing, branding, authority building, how to create 8 figures online. And that's the type of people that Matt and I love to hang around. We like to hang around people who are hungry, who are go-getters. We call them the ballers, right? The people who want to be shakers and movers and even create a legacy. So it goes beyond just building what you have in your brick and mortar and your virtual. Those that might want to make a difference in the world. So the UCAM event link, guys, is down below. You also have the link for the 7-figure empire building report. And I have a question, Matt. The question is, can you do ads on TikTok without posting content? What are Kairos posting on TikTok right now?
Yeah, so number one, it's good to have some organic content on your TikTok profile before you start to advertise, because if people don't see that you're active, you're not going to really get a lot of subscriptions, just like any social channel. So it would be smart to have at least a few videos on your TikTok account before you start running ads. What you can post, I mean, you could post everything from documenting what's going on in the office. I have a lot of clients that will do this, to where they'll have their CA just literally document you talking to a patient in front of an X-ray, or they'll document you working and adjusting one of your patients and then explaining exactly what you're doing. Or some videos will be with you in them, maybe with a spine, maybe actually doing a little 30-second educational slot. We had one of our clients, and she's actually she's a former attendee of our UCAM event, Mike. She did a video, Dr. Marla. She did a video. This is probably last year sometime. It was a super simple video. She didn't even speak in the video. What she did was, she was behind, there was a spine behind her and a poster, Italian music playing. It's like really some catchy Italian sound that she found. It was trending on TikTok. And then she was pointing to little speech bubbles, just like, and the topic of the video was why not to crack your neck. And she was giving these reasons. And, she made it was a cute video, probably 15 seconds in length, nothing crazy. That turned into, within about a week and a half, 6 million video views, thousands of comments, and patients coming in the office and people asking her like, hey, can you get a referral over here this way? So one video can blow up extremely fast, and that she wasn't even talking in that video. So lots of different examples, whether it's educational. If your personality is more entertaining, you can be creative, but you don't have to. I mean, you can think of something that you want to talk about, or a frequently asked question, and just get up there in front of the camera and, go off, just do something, but still analyze what other doctors are doing. If you go to TikTok and you type in chiropractic in the search, you'll see some great examples of videos that have already had millions of video views. Figure out your style and then start to do your own version of some of those.
And at our next UCAM, we're also going to be teaching Matt how to find trends, where to go to get those trends, and how to hack others. And that's one of the big things that we do is the teachings that we have in our agencies is really how to hack success, create a model of success by hacking others. And there's things you can do, like even on YouTube, to hack descriptor tags as well, to sort of build that audience versus the long and hard way. There are shortcuts in order to do that. So we teach the success plans as well at the UCAM event. Matt, we're coming up to about 40 minutes. If you have questions, you want to make sure you put them in the chat down below. Make sure you scan that barcode in order to get instant access to our 7-figure social media and digital marketing empire. And make sure you copy down the link for the UCAM event if you're looking for a vacation and to mastermind with like-minded 100 other professionals worldwide. And we just had a doctor sign up from Sweden. We've had people from New Zealand come in before, mostly Americans, Canadians that are going to be at this event. And I guarantee it's going to be one of the best events you've ever been to, if you're looking at education and a learning seminar as well.
And we have docs that bring their CAs, some bring their spouses and family. So you can find, I mean, because Secrets and Dreams, one side of it is adults only, and then the other side are for families. So it's a great location, either or. And that whole region in Mexico is, if you know anything about Mexico and that Yucatan Peninsula, like where that is, it's a very, very safe region. Because the tourism is the lifeblood of that economy. So, you know, some people have questions. It's a really solid area. And I can just tell you that historically, you know, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to play, hang out with some amazing people, and we're going to have some fun. And if you resonate with those things, then you're going to have a great experience.
And this is such a powerful event, Matt. We have a 50% re-sign rate every year. That's how good it is. So it's one of the content-rich seminars, guys, that are applicable. We're not going to teach you any garbage, any BS. It's everything you can take home on Monday, implement, and watch your business, your virtual business, or your brick and mortar grow. So guys, any more questions, drop them in the chat. I see Todd Williamson there. Todd, waving at you, man. It's great to see you again. It's been a while. All right, and we got a lot of familiar faces here as well. So any other questions, guys, as we come to a close? If you don't have any other questions.
When's the early bird?
The early bird ends December 31st, guys. So if you want to get a ticket and save $500, $1,000 on a team ticket, and I bring my team every year. They get just a ton of knowledge, because everything changes. Everything changes every year. There's always growth in every different platform, every different procedure, strategy, tool, hack that we're sharing. There's an evolution of that as well. So you can get information on both Matt's agency and my own, guys, on the ucam.fund site. You'll see the links there if you have questions for each individual. But if we have anything else, Bruce, you're going to be at a destination wedding during that time. So highly recommend for those who can go. Yeah. 1 and 1 equals 3, 1 and 1 equals 10 at this event. I can guarantee it. So Matt, any last parting words? We're coming at 45 minutes. I mean, we'd love to chat all day. If a doctor is sitting there asking the question, where do I start? How do I get involved with this? What's the best fast track to get up and running? What would be your best recommendations?
To do something, because sometimes an analysis paralysis is the problem. And here's also another thing. What I've learned is that because social media is free a lot of times, it's very easy to sit and do nothing. Unless you're going to pay, like when you pay attention. It's like the rule of life. It's why we pay to be in masterminds. It's why we pay to go to high ticket events like this. When you pay for something, you pay attention. That's one of my first rules of anything. And you can be disciplined on your own and start creating some type of regular content every week to have that consistency. That's where I would definitely begin. Choose one channel, whether it's Facebook, and just start really dialing that in. But knowing if you're going to create a 1 to 2 minute video for Facebook, you still have to do a 30-second for the shorter video platforms. Turn right around and shoot it there. Or you can have an editor edit it down. So keep it simple. Keep it very, very simple. We don't need to complicate this stuff. And if you keep it simple and you're consistent and you follow our recommendations, you're going to see massive growth.
I agree. And the keyword consistency, guys. Stick to it for minimum 3 months. All right, guys. So make sure you download that barcode, the QR code, sorry, and then we're going to get this report to you. We'll give you a recording of this presentation, this master talk, and you'll have all the information there that you need for the UCAM event. And we'll send you an invite to a webinar that we're going to be running. We're going to go more in depth, guys, in January about social media, digital marketing, and the UCAM event. So make sure that if you're interested, ucam.fund, you'll learn more, get your ticket. It's an early bird until December 31st. Give yourself a Christmas gift this year, guys, and join us in the Caribbean. It's going to be a blast. So once again, guys, thanks for being on with Matt, myself, and we look forward to talking to you guys soon. Have a great one.
Bye, guys. Ciao.